No signs of torture on bodies of Russian journalists killed in car, Moscow. Earlier, the Russian Investigative Committee said that it had opened a criminal probe into the murder of the 3 Russian journalists in the Central African Republic. Russia's Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova stated that doctors had found only gunshot wounds and no signs of torture on the bodies of journalist Orkhan Dzhemil, cameraman Kirill Radchenko and producer Alexander Rastorgayev, who were killed near the city of Sibit, 23 kilometers 14 miles north of Bangui, the capital of the Central African Republic, earlier this week. The statement came after Russian forensic expert Sergei Matyugin told Sputnik that the analysis of the alleged photos of Orkhan Dzhemil and Alexander Rastorgayev published by several African news websites shows that there are visible traces of torture on the bodies of the victims. Read more. MINUSCA, goal of attack on Russian journalists in car, has not been established. The Investigations Management Center, TSUR, Deputy Chief Editor Anastasia Gorshkova is being questioned by the Russian Investigative Committee over the murder of 3 Russian journalists in the Central African Republic. TSUR Director Andrei Konyakin said Thursday. The investigative committee has been interrogating Anastasia Gorshkova, the TSUR deputy chief editor, for 3 hours. She is a witness in the murder case of journalists Orkhan Dzhemil, Alexander Rastorgayev and Kirill Radchenko, who were shooting a film about Russian participation in the Central African Republic's conflict, Konyakin said. Earlier, Russia's foreign ministry confirmed the death of Dzhemil, Radchenko and Rastorgayev, adding that the Russian embassy in the car was not informed about the presence of the Russian journalists in the country. The ministry added that the embassy is in contact with the local authorities to prepare the transportation of the bodies of the journalists to Russia. On Tuesday, the news agency AFP cited sources as saying that the bodies of 3 Russian citizens with expired press cards had been found on a road near Sibit and that they were killed by unidentified armed men. The information was later confirmed by a UN mission in the car. Read more. Russian FM, car special mission sent to scene of murder of Russian journalists. The Russian Foreign Ministry's Consular Department website has meanwhile warned against visiting the car, where law enforcement forces are, in fact, not functioning and one cannot count on their assistance in case of trouble. The ministry noted that security situation in the car remains complicated, citing regular armed robberies, killings and attacks on foreigners. So visiting the car is fraught with a lot of risks, and is highly undesirable, the ministry added. Over the past few years, violent clashes between Christian and Muslim groups have been showing no signs of ceasing in the car. The situation was exacerbated even further following the overthrow of President François Bozize and the arrival of self-proclaimed head of state Michel Djododia. More than 1,000 people have already been killed in the conflict, which has displaced 1 million more, according to UN estimates.